Back to another episode of Thimble Fireside Chat. I'm David Dressner. I'm a hardware engineer at Thimble.
I'm David Brenner. I'm CTO, founder of Thimble.
Yeah, and today, while we're recording this, it is February.
And that means it's open source month.
Yay!
Oh yeah, cool. So I thought that we would talk about our favorite open source programs.
Okay, yeah.
So what did you got?
So I think my favorite is VLC.
VLC, what's that?
So I don't know what it stands for. Of course, there's going to be a call out right here coming off of my shoulder. And it's kind of like, like a movie file player, but it does so much more than that. It kind of plays, every video file and like any audio file that I can throw at it. And it's got a bunch of cool features. It doesn't just play them, say you have a movie file and something messed up on the recording and the video and audio are out of sync. You can actually tell it, to like delay one of the tracks to make it sync up again. And it's free.
Yeah, and the coolest thing about it, it has like every codec ever, basically, built right in. So you don't have to go through installing all the codecs and all that stuff. You just open this program and it's got everything.
And it's a pretty optimized program too, It does a lot, but it's pretty lightweight. It doesn't blow up my system when I open it.
Yeah, it's great.
And I also kind of like the story behind it. The kind of lead guy behind it, a lot of people, corporations, companies, I guess, they were like, hey, we want to buy you out because, they made a good thing. Or, we want to put ads on this. But he's really, gung-ho about keeping it free and keeping it no ads. And at least when this is recording, I don't know what happens 5 years in the future. It does not have ads.
Cool.
And it's got traffic cone as an icon.
It does. Yeah, so my personal favorite piece of open source software, it's really hard to choose one. Linux.
I had a feling you were going to say Linux.
I know.
It's kind of like the granddad of all open source stuff.
Technically GNU is. You're supposed to say GNU/Linux. Now Linux is probably my favorite piece of open source software because it's the operating system that I use pretty much all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's an operating system and it's open source. Right there, it's pretty significant because, I was talking about VLC, which is, something to play videos. Windows comes with one. There's like QuickTime and Pot Player, and there are a lot of other options. But when you get to operating systems, I think a lot of people kind of only do, Windows, Mac. They both cost money. Yeah, so I think it's pretty impressive that an operating system, and a good one at that.
Yeah, I mean, it runs, I don't know what the statistic is. Maybe it's on the screen right now, maybe not, maybe we don't know. But it runs most of the world's computers. Almost every website, web servers run on Linux. Tons of government stuff. Pretty much everything is run on Linux.
Yeah,
webcam software.
Yeah.
My Android phone
That's insane.
is Linux.
So sometimes people, see, open source free stuff as maybe it's not as good as the premium stuff. They think maybe if I paid a little bit more, it would be kind of better. But, saying that government stuff runs on it and, the backbone of the internet really runs on Linux, that means, I think, it's pretty good.
It's great.
Yeah.
My second best
Yeah.
piece of open source software is a kind of obscure one. It's called Red Notebook.
I have never heard of this.
Sounds ridiculous, like the name. I don't really like the name,
Well,
but
I don't even know what it is yet.
the software itself, it's kind of like a journaling diary kind of thing, and it gets used by all sorts of different purposes, like for different purposes. But yeah, you write in like a markdown like kind of markup language, and I use it like literally for keeping a journal.
Okay.
So kind of every day I try to be disciplined and like write what I did that day, and I can look back every day, like 1 year, 5 years, 10 years back, because I've been doing it for a while, and kind of see where I'm at in my life and like what I was doing 5 years ago. It's kind of interesting to use.
So since you've been using it for so long, that means you've kind of been with the project, for quite a while. So what are some of like the changes that you've seen over the years?
So there's one maintainer for this project, but it's still, lots of contributors. I actually contributed to it myself a couple times, and then some of my modifications I never actually contributed, but I have my own version that I maintain my own patches for.
And do you release that somewhere? Is that out there?
It's on GitHub. It's on my personal GitHub.
So I could download it?
You could download it.
Nice.
Yeah, it's probably out of date, but meh, it works. That's why you can grab my changes and make them your own.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my second favorite. Do you have a second favorite?
I would say Libre Office.
That's a great one.
Yeah, it's a whole, suite of productivity software. So, word processor, presentation thing, trying to avoid certain
Trademark names.
trademark names. Yeah, it's great. I'm kind of fresh out of college and I fix people's computers. Like they'll come, they're like, oh, my computer's messed up. And I would fix it and I'd kind of give them a whole suite of usually free and open source software, and Libre Office was always one of those because it's a good alternative to another popular Office suite.
Yeah, it's pretty great. I use it.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
So I think it's pretty clear that we both are avid users of open source stuff. What open source projects, programs, operating systems do you guys use? Comment down below. Subscribe because we're still doing more open source stuff.
All month.
All month. And check out our Facebook page for when those next videos are going to be. And
Cool.
yeah, so keep it chill, keep it open source.
Oh,
Fresh.
boom.